A great building must begin with the immeasurable, must go through measurable means when it is being designed, and in the end it must be unmeasured. Louis Kahn. In a world that can be endlessly measured, the immeasurable has not disappeared, it is waiting for a place to manifest. All wonder and enchantment do not simply arise from objects alone, but from situations that must be entered, enacted, and felt. This project begins with wish-making, an immeasurable act, and the making of a space that gave it a form. It passes through measurable spatial actions, only to return to the making of an immeasurable spatial imagination. It is an attempt to enchant our environment again. Wish-making is deeply entangled with the sacred. In South India Shiva temples, devotees line up to whisper their wishes into Nandi's ear. Nandi is believed to carry these murmured intentions to Shiva in the inner sanctum, where the deity may grant them. Through these practices, wish-making unfolds as a dense cultural field, a fog formed by belief, ritual, myth, and unpredictable coincidence. At its origin, it remains immeasurable, diffuse, overlapping, and resistant to clear definition. Yet, wish-making is an act that takes place in space, becoming legible through spatial and material actions, not as an abstract belief, but as something done, handled, sensed, and repeated. Once enacted, the immeasurable is no longer distant. A wish takes form in the moment a coin leaves the hand, when a ribbon is tightened around a branch, or when a candle is extinguished in silence. This measurable means gives the immeasurable a place to be encountered, experienced, and shared. When wish-making is carried by space, it begins to take on concrete form and perceptible boundaries, almost as if it could be measured with a ruler. A space of wishing often anticipates particular bodily gestures, relies on specific materials to take place, produces a distant atmosphere as a level of perception, and anchors itself within a shared narrative through which it is understood. A hand touches a sculpted surface. One grips a sacred object tightly, stacks stones with care, ascends a series of steps, gazes toward a holy mountain, or releases a coin into water. Gesture in this context is not cultural or arbitrary. It functions as a mediating act, linking the human body, spatial conditions, and the sacred. Ribbons are knotted and tightened. Coins are smoothed by circulation. Wax melts, hardens, and disappears. Stone surfaces are polished by repeated touch. Material is a medium through which the sacred becomes perceivable. It gives belief a surface. Material does not explain the sacred, it makes it present. In wish-making spaces, atmosphere can be shaped through spatial qualities. Atmosphere cannot be measured directly, yet it is precisely through these spatial modulations that the immeasurable becomes sensibly present. Through narratives, the sacred is not distant, but approached through acts of exchange. An offering is made, a gesture performed, an object given, and a wish is entrusted in return. Wish-making forms a negotiation space between the secular and the sacred. Here, the sacred is rendered secular, and the secular is rendered sacred. Yet, the sum of measurements does not arrive at clarity. It resolves instead into something diffuse, resistant again to full accounting, a spatial atmosphere that braces something like magic. In this return, the immeasurable reappears. It is not eliminated by measurement, it is produced through it. Designing a wish-making space is therefore an oscillation between the measurable and the immeasurable. It is not only about the act of wishing, but about how rational structures can coexist with the irrational longing. It asks how individual desires are gathered, how they accumulate, and how they become spatially shared. Here, there are four houses, 4 stories, and 4 beliefs. Perhaps there are not 4 but 1, repeatedly revealed through different forms. They lead you into a world that constantly oscillates between the marriable and the immarriable. Perhaps they invite you to believe in magic again. The first story is about a group of people who believe that the earthworms are the world's backstage administrators. They believe earthworms possess a true form of intelligence, only that their voices have not yet reached human perception. They are unseen yet everywhere. They replicate themselves. Real power does not need to be visible. People build a temple for the earthworms. This vast labyrinth is formed by a single earthworm, or perhaps 2, depending on how one understands an earthworm cut into 2. Together, they form a double helix. You run to the center, make a wish, then run backward. This is the most basic ritual of the temple. You need to rotate repeatedly. The architecture demands rotation. Rotation connects the body to the spatial geometry of the maze. Turning slows the body down, disrupts direction, and suspends linear movement. Within this circular motion, it is believed that the wish is gradually purified. The earthworms do not intend to block the path of any creature. Small openings run through the entire space, allowing passage for animals of all kinds. The labyrinth is punctured with openings. It does not aim to make anyone truly lost. Each opening serves as a checkpoint, marking one's position within the ring. Couples sometimes take photos here, standing apart, forming a heart. Their wishes are not only about love. The earthworm overhear fragments, insurance, murder, cliffs, carried away by the wind. In the church's labyrinth, people rotate continuously, moving from the secular world towards the sacred center. A long pilgrimage is compressed into this single path. The outer ring is the secular, and the inner core is the heaven. The earthworm temple can be understood in the same way, but unfortunately, it does not offer heaven at its center. At the very center stands a long bladeless fan. Powered by solar energy and the kinetic force of running bodies, it turns silently. The fan has no blaze, yet the wind is felt. Like earthworms, unseen, but gaps open in the soil, allowing oxygen to circulate. Make a wish into the wind. It will be carried into every pocket of air, slipping into the ears of the earthworms. They will find a way to propagate your wish. The entrance and exit of the labyrinth meet at the same point. People are advised to enter from the left. Dogs need no such instruction. They seem to have no need to make wishes. They are already inside them. The exit of the labyrinth is a water point. There is tap water and a small basin, always open for dogs to drink. After making a wish, wash your hands. Earthworms understand that the human desire to be seen. After all, not everyone is a silent administrator. A three-tiered viewing stand is attached to the maze. There can be audience. If one day you forget the answer, or forget that no answer is needed, then come and run. The bladeless fan will not give you an answer, but it will carry your thoughts and blow them towards the sun. Just make a wish. The second story is about a sponge. People believe the sponge knows everything because it has too many ears. It absorbs everything, contains everything, and forgets everything. Everything passes. The sponge temple was built by believers of the sponge. They believe the sponge is the origin of all things. Make a wish to the sponge, and it will be filtered, returning to the world in many different forms. Wright once described an idea known as the breaking of the box. The four corner towers pulled themselves away from the main body, almost as if they were nailed into the ground. Together, these four elements form solid anchor blocks, allowing the central church space to be pushed outward between these anchored points. These four anchors define a monotheistic church. What he sought to build was a temple suitable for human use, a place of gathering where humanity studies self in the name of God. Human beings are placed at the center of the church. Here, the sponge temple adopts a similar strategy. Four wide volumes define four elongated spaces pushed outward, along with the central hall. Openings appear everywhere. This is a sponge. It is constantly filtering, listening, forgetting, or performing some other function altogether. Years. The temple does not want you to identify walls, columns, or chairs. Years. Everything is ears. If you believe anything can be an ear, make a wish to it. If you decide to step outside, you enter a circular echo plaza. At its center is a well. Yes, this is a wishing well. The deep shaft at its core is an opening for listening. Pigeons and dogs are here. Speak your wish. Then leave a coin for the water, a hug for the dog, and some fries for the pigeons. They are not messenger birds, but they can listen to your wish. Many ears, large and small ears together form the temple's facade. If you do not wish to enter, make a wish from outside. Outside the long ears, a row of slender columns support them. They are thin. Are they really enough to hold up this concrete building? The structural engineer seems confident. Still, people slip small branches between them. This is a place for wishing. By inserting a branch, you help support the building and someone else wish. People like to think this way. Yes, architecture is alive. It has ears, organs, many moving vital parts. But after all this talking, would you like to say something to a living being, for example, a human? At the four corners of the building, four phone booths are anchored. Call the person you want to speak to. Let the electromagnetic waves carry your voice into the ear that needs to hear it. In this way, the building potentially links all ears together. The third story is about ants. People believe there is no essential difference between humans and ants, just as there is little difference between an ant nest and a skyscraper. We are an ant-like structure. Ants simply learned how to build earlier than we did. We should learn from ants, especially when it comes to realizing wishes. The ant temple is a structure that can only be climbed. There are no elevators, no stairs, only climbing, like an ant. Railings. There are only railings here. There are no staircases or elevators. Every height must be climbed. Change in height is 2 meters. You must first lift yourself to reach a new platform. There you will find dumbbells blessed by ants. Lift them, then make a wish. Lift some blocks and build a few shapes for the next person. Make a wish. Give the ant guards at the openings a hug. They will bless your wish. Climb to a position, lift something, make a wish. What is the difference between lifting a dumbbell and lifting a teddy bear? Yes, there is one. Once upon a time, someone disguised as a bear killed a person who came to make a wish. The nature of their relationship is still under investigation. After that, the bear was kept forever. Some people find it unsettling, but it remains. The ant sect believes it must mean something, perhaps a hope for world peace. The highest point of the mountain is 14 meters. It is not an excessive height for modern humans, but climbing it will leave you breathless. At the top, the platform invites you to go down. Inside, there is a trampoline. Perhaps this is a reward. After a long sequence of lifting upward, you're bouncing to set your body in motion again. Maybe make a wish at the moment you reach the highest drop. An architect once came here. He said he spent the first half of his life trying to leave something behind. Later, he slowed down, one project every 10 years. He noticed the railings, polished smooth by countless hands. People are always leaving something, he thinks. Breath, friction, fingerprints. Why try so hard to leave more? On the other side of the mountain, a row of basketballs lies in place. At the far right, an X-ray film. Perhaps it is a reminder to care for your neck. Perhaps it was left by a doctor or by an art student. You may choose to leave a basketball and throw it into any hoop. Each hoop may carry a meaning: promotion, wealth, health, or the founding of your new country. Assign meaning to your own hoop. Some people criticize the ant temple for being too monumental. One opinion suggests it should instead go downward. Ant necks, after all, are meant to be modest, invisible. Such ant temples do exist. They are simply too well hidden. No one has found them yet. The final story is about the octopus. They firmly believe that one day the octopus will speak and reveal a truth that overturns everything. The octopus temple can be built at any opening. As long as an octopus tentacle can reach inside, an octopus temple can exist. You can see various indentations. These are microphones. The octopus temple blesses fishes through singing. Sing into the microphones. Make music with strangers. Sound passes through the temple's complex resonance system and is composed into a song. The octopus god believes the world is one body, like the different organs of a single octopus. It waits for that moment when the octopus speaks and we're bound together again. Speakers are distributed everywhere, waiting to carry sound outward. Every opening is a resonance chamber. Sing out loud. The octopus temple hopes you will get lost from time to time. Perhaps pause and consider what kind of wish to make. When it comes to wishing, a little hesitation is allowed. The octopus temple politely declines all requests from architecture students to survey the temple. They believe drawings of the temple have the power to summon the octopus god, and the octopus god needs rest. Some people claim the octopus is evil. The 8 dark entrances confuse them. They always get lost. The court rejects the accusation. There are only 8 entrances and 3 volumes. How complex could it be? You do not need to find a microphone to sing. Your footsteps, breath, heartbeat, and gentle intentions are already music. Stay with the present moment like an octopus that never worries about tomorrow. Who built the octopus temple? That is not very important. If you want to make a wish, then do so. If you only want to rest, every surface here welcomes you. To lie down and read, talk for a while, turn upside down, graffiti, and run off. Some doors are simply passages. The octopus never tries to stop those who do not wish to explore it. travelers passing through, even in passing, the octopus will offer you a blessing. The octopus temple welcomes you to sit down in any corner or anything that looks like a chair or does not. Rest, listen, make a wish. The octopus will hear, the octopus will remember, the octopus will care. Lean back the leg and listen to a song. In the end, they believe in the bizarre things humans laugh at. They believe life is a process of magic and fantasy. They believe in the irrational. They believe in your dreams. Now it comes to the Earthworm calendar time. Earthworm second line, segment 3, 3A5, EM. The settling sun passes through the bladeless fan. I gotta go. I need to make a wish. At the moment where everything seems to align, where the fog is about to lift, but has not yet. Upon entering the track, rows of trees line the path. The outermost wall is long. The grass is dense yet comfortable underfoot while running. What should I wish for? This is an alignment that occurs only once in 30 years. What should I wish for? I cannot think. I reach a checkpoint. There is still a long way to go, very far, very far. I should wish for my mom's house. My father left us 10 years ago. If the soul has another life, I hope it becomes the being it wishes to be. If it dissolves into any formal existence, I hope everything feels gentle and at ease to him. I hope he may still encounter moments of vitality and unexpected joy. I only hope that he is well, whether or not he still exists. I continue running. The last light of the setting sun falls across the walls. Perhaps I should attend to myself. I wish to have a place of my own. Inside it, there would be a large trampoline. There would be stairs, but most of the time I would jump up to the second floor using the trampoline. Perhaps I should wish for this. It would mean that the house has at least 2 levels and that I have the means to shape it. I should wish for something more meta. I kept running. I am tired. What was my wish? I am halfway there. In fact, more than halfway. The inner track is shorter. Hurry. I need to come up with a wish. Why is this harder than doing a sample? A dog, always wearing a fancy outfit, joins the run. I hope it does not become dizzy. I should wish for the dog at home to live a happy life. If it is happy throughout its life, it means that I am happy as well. It would mean that war or illness have not descended upon me. Perhaps this is how I should wish, beginning with something small. The god of the fun may expand it to other things. I should wish for my dog's fur to remain glossy, and she can always smell the grass at 6 a.m. under the sun. Almost there. The last checkpoint. I arrived. The sun of the fun is bright. It seems to drown out all traces of the sunset. Great, bladeless flying god, I still do not know what to wish for. I have heard that this is the most important one. But what does important mean? There will be more people coming to make wishes, won't there? They will all be good wishes. My wish is that all the good wishes made there will come true.